you will always see login with Google. Why don't you see login with anybody else? Or even if you see login with anybody else, it's very rarest of the rare thing. Why login with Google? One, it is easy, right? Second, it is available on any device, anywhere, any type of form factor. At any given point in time in a 13-minute cycle, we process about 2 billion login events globally. Which means even if you are, let's say, opening up your mobile and going to Zomato right now, in the background, Google is verifying your authentication silently, because you probably use Google when you signed up for Zomato, or when you use Google account when you signed up for Google, right? Which essentially means that this in itself becomes not only the world's largest email platform, but the world's largest identity platform in itself. So we know which type of authentication methods will work for which type of user, which type of challenges will work for which type of incidents that happen, what type of device you have been using, where have you been using it from, where have any spikes come up from, what type of application you typically use, when that spike happens, where is that spike coming up from. So I was telling a few people in the room that within Google we don't use any antivirus. As simple as that. Can you imagine a world wherein you allow your employees to use a laptop without an antivirus installed? Can you imagine that? Okay, how many people reset their passwords in your company, let's say 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Everybody. Why? Does resetting password make it stronger? No. No. There is enough public research on it that resetting passwords never add any more security. Because as a human, we can only remember 3 or 4 passwords at max 5. So what will happen? Let's say my password is password 123. When 60 days happen, I'll say password 1234, password 12345. I'll just make very small tweaks to the same password. Because I cannot remember more passwords. As simple as that. And there is enough research, not only by Google, but even several universities have done it. Resetting password was done in a legacy world where everything was controlled by on-premise servers. So it made sense. I tell you when I reset my password. I joined this company in November 2021. That was the first time I set up my password. I accidentally used my password on a third-party website. Google asked me to reset it. So December 2021 was the last time I reset my password. Imagine a company like Google where we operate from 100 plus countries, we fly every day, we have thousands of employees who are traveling every time. No VPN, no antivirus, no password resets and all. Zero. No EDR solution, by the way. We don't use any EDRs. So we cover some of that, but we cover how an end user uses this primarily, right? So all of these technologies are good for the IT, but as an end user, if I have to use it, how do I use it? Let me just mirror my screen quickly. Just and here I go. That was the thing is it was slideshow, very clever. All right.
And also,
Right, play it. Now I'm very town. So there's no clicker. I'll probably have to just stay here then. Now, why are we talking about AI? Right? Every now and then, we always get something or the new coming up in the AI world. It's a matter of few hours, not even few days or few weeks, when you hear something new about what is happening in the AI world, right? It could be from Google, it could be from anywhere else, but every day there's a new news, every hour there's a new news, right? And AI has fundamentally changed how we look at our work today, or the way that we use any technology day to day, whether it is, let's say, for searching something, for writing something, for learning something. AI has literally transformed the way we work or we even live, right? Now, this is the consumer world primarily. That okay, I was using Google search for so many years. Now I have many things which have similar capabilities. I was using some tools for creating images. I was using some tools for learning. There is AI infused for me as a consumer anywhere, and there are 10,000 different tools, right? But as an enterprise, where are most of the enterprises? Most of the enterprises are still at a very nascent stage, as we call it, right? Because I'll talk about that in the next slide, but typically, even if you look at this graph, you'll probably find yourself somewhere on this, right? Most of the digital natives companies would have started over here, the early adopters, because they want to experiment. They have all the Gen who want to experiment. Some traditional companies have started in the early majority now, right? But we still have a long way to go before it becomes mainstream. But then, why is it happening that only few people have access to AI and few do not? Right? Cost is a constraint. Unknown use cases is a constraint. People don't know which use cases are relevant for them, which use cases are not relevant for them. Right? This was a research done by third party only, in which they said that today, whenever we're talking about AI, we're only talking about giving AI to the top 2 or top 3% people in the company. While if you do a hackathon, if you do a survey, you'll find that majority of the end users are already using some or the other form of AI in their personal lives. And they are using it even for their corporate data as well. So it's not that employees don't have access to it, they have access to it. It's just that they're doing it in a more riskier way for now. Which means, as a company, I may have a strategy to not give AI to all my employees, but my employees have a strategy to use any AI which is available to them. Which becomes even bigger problem. We all have heard about that problem of shadow IT. Now it's a shadow AI, right? Because I have any type of AI available to me, so it makes sense for me, instead of allowing users to use any sort of AI, give them the AI wherever they work. From a long-term perspective, so we took a call, right, that we should allow AI for everyone. Let me just quickly get to this one. So this is an announcement that we made last 10 weeks this year. And you have the audio, please. This audio. Yeah. Stupid. It's okay. It's okay, I think there's no audio. Anyways, we'll step that one. But AI is not new to Google. Whenever you're using, let's say, WhatsApp today, right? And everybody uses WhatsApp, right? Everybody has already seen that whenever you're typing something, WhatsApp automatically figures out what you're going to say, and it automatically starts filling up your sentences, right? That's happening on WhatsApp. That's happening on a lot of platforms. We started doing that in like 2014, when Gmail started giving you options to choose the words which make sense for you, right? Or correcting your grammatic mistakes, or even helping you when you're composing new emails, right? That was what, 2017, 2018, or even before that, right? Noise cancellation. Everybody started talking about noise cancellation during COVID period. We had it even before COVID at that time, right? Which was an internal product. The idea is that it's not new. It has been there since 2015 onwards that we have been adding few capabilities here and there. But Gemini got launched in 2023. That is where we transformed everything and we said, okay, let's make it generative AI instead of just an AI. So I'll show you live examples of how I use it, but this is a research that we did internally that today everybody is coming to you and saying that, sir, mera na naya SKU aaya hai, isme AI hai. I'm selling SAP, I'm selling Oracle, I'm selling XYZ product. Here's a higher SKU which offers AI. And any large enterprises will typically have probably about 200 plus applications. Think about 200 plus different AIs, or every vendor coming up with their AI model for you. Which means, as a leader, you have to now decide that how many AI agents will I have? How many AI products that I have to purchase? Right? And what about all the data exposure that happens with these AIs? I don't know what is happening, right? This is where Gemini Enterprise comes in, right? Which means that wherever you are, AI follows you. It starts with Google Workspace as the base platform. That whatever you're doing on Google platform, AI will be there, and then you can extend it to the next level. Sorry, I'm skipping this couple of slides because of time. But yeah, that is done. Somebody was asking me back on the table that about the compliances and all of those things. This is a public slide. We are the only company who have ever achieved all of these certifications. There is a reason for that. The reason is plain and simple. We own the entire stack, which means starting from the hardware till the end user application. Everything in between is owned by Google. So we are not relying on a third party to get a certification and then only we will get a certification. Or if he doesn't get a certification, I will not get a certification. If he is not able to prove his work, I will not be able to prove my work. Yeah, that's right. So if you have customers who need FedRAMP, if you have customers who need GCP, GDPR, HIPAA, any of the ISO certifications, it's already there. Right? Now I'm going to live demonstration. Right? In live demonstration, I'll talk about how I use AI every day. So there will be certain use cases which I use. There will be certain use cases which I have gathered from my customers. But as an end user, now I am part of a technical architect team. I will show you how I use this every day when I'm, let's say, reading my emails, I'm working on replying emails. preparing something for my customers and all of that. So I already have opened up many tabs, but I wanted to start with one thing. Okay. How many of you go to customer meetings and then have to prepare a brief before you, let's say, even go to customer meeting or meet, let's say, your seniors, right? You're working on a project and you want to know, okay, I have a meeting with the CEO and he will ask me about this project. What has happened in this project over the last 6 months, over the last 1 year? How much time does it take for you to just prepare that briefing document? Just that briefing document. You probably have an assistant who will be working on it, right? And that assistant may be spending, let's say, 2 to 3 hours to figure out, okay, last year se kya hua aaj tak, right? This is what I did. This is live for one of my customers that I manage. I just gave a prompt to Gemini. I'm meeting JK Siemens leadership. Tell me what all has happened in the last 1 year. Check you my email chat, right? Prepare for an executive briefing. This was the response which came up. Internal context for the last 12 months. Today is at the meeting at this place. This is a relationship timeline. So JK Siemens migrated. There were some challenges like migration. Account team change happened. Email gateway replacement happened. License outage happens for some users, right? Reference call happened. This is what it gathered from the internet because it may be necessary for my leaders when they're meeting JK Siemens. How much time it took me? My manager was sitting next to me in my cab. And I was preparing this on my mobile. Yes. This is live, happened in August. Another example. This is my personal use case. I was in London from 30th September to 7th of October. I did 2 days worth of continuous discussion with AI that I'm turning with my parents. Help me plan an itinerary for me, which is relevant for not only for me but my parents as well. It included even a trip to Google Office. This whole infographic which you see right on the right hand side. Imagine it has details for each day. I printed each day separately, right? And if today any designer has to create this infographic, there are 2 steps to it. Somebody has to gather this data. Somebody has to tell the designer that ye data chahiye. Then he will go ahead and he will design this. For me, it took me maybe less than 30 seconds. This is one use case from the human life. I'll show you now my advice I built this. Have you ever heard the name Notebook LM? Anybody here who has heard the name Notebook LM? Use Notebook LM? Use, okay. So Notebook LM is one of the fastest growing learning application today or a research application today. The plain and simple idea is you just dump all the files in a notebook and it helps you gather all the data from that notebook. You can ask your question in any language that you feel like and it will give you not only answers but it will prepare content. Now when we're talking about content, this notebook, which is a public notebook, we said okay, let's showcase this as well. This is the earning report for the top 50 companies globally, right? On the left hand side, what you see are the sources. These sources are like 180 plus different files of different formats. So you will see a YouTube video, you will see PDF, you will see an MP3 audio, you will see documents, right? Some of them are even Excel files, what does matter, right? And these are from 50 different companies globally. All I have is just a chat bot here, from which I can start asking my question. If I have to ask a question about, okay, how many cars were manufactured by Tesla in Q1, it will give me. I don't have to read another 50 documents to find that answer. Or, in fact, let's do that right away. Let's see. Sorry about them. In Q1, let's say by Tesla. That's my question. Why did it come back? You can also get answers in native audio formats. Not only just a chatbot. So if an audio, unfortunately, it will probably again with the audio. The audio chalega. Audio be completely not. They're figuring it out. But it doesn't want to clear it up. Okay. Let's just start. It's okay. Sorry. So there was that audio, right? I'll tell you what was there in that audio. It was quantum of 2 different people talking about those 180 plus different files in a podcast format, discussing about everything which is there in those 150 files. Imagine this could be, let's say, all your HR policies. It could be last year's legal documents that you signed, all the offer letters that you have ever released, all the, let's say, SOP documents that you follow in your manufacturing company, anything and everything where you know the content, that here is my content, I want answers from it, or I want a new content from it. This new content could also be in the form of a video. So I created this 7-minute video, which is talking about the 5 biggest trends from the Q1 earnings. Now, if we have to do this today manually, somebody will have to go through those 180 files, synthesize that information, create multiple presentations, and then probably hire a designer or maybe a video editor who will create a video for that podcast or any content that you're thinking. That thing is that that's the project. So let's get back. Yes, that's enough. Nope. It's okay. I don't think this. Refresh it. Just in case. Okay. Okay. Let's try one more time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, your express lane to understanding the most important global business insights. Today, we're cutting through the noise and jargon of Q2 2025 earnings call.
Let me restart this because I want to be participant of this. And let me open up my microphone. Should work. The same podcast. Again.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, your express lane to understanding the most important global business insights. Today, we're cutting through the noise and jargon of Q2 2025 earnings call.
Okay, my manager asked me, I was thinking with Q1 earnings for even how much figures out contributed to the overall alphabet. So that, just so that we know.
Well, that's a great question for your manager.
Yeah, that's digging right into the numbers.
We actually have those Q1 2025 figures handy.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Google Cloud revenues for Q1 2025 were $12.3 billion.
That's a 28% increase year over year. Oh, yeah.
Wait, I have a follow-up question. How many cars were manufactured by Tesla in Q1?
Oh, that's the fascinating bit.
From cloud AI to electric vehicles, we love it.
We do have those Q1 operational figures for Tesla.
Let's unpack this with some specific.
In Q1 2025, Tesla produced 362,615 vehicles.
Why are we talking about all of this? These could be my project documents. These could be all the town hall which my manager has ever done. These could be all my legal contracts which are about to expire. And there is a mobile application for this. So imagine I'm driving, I could be jogging, and I have a question which my manager has asked. All I need is just talk to a podcaster that I need an answer on this question. I don't have to listen to a 20-minute long podcast because my manager asked me just 3 questions. I need answers for those 3 questions only. Nothing beyond, right? And it could be in the video format as well, which I was trying to play earlier. I'll just refresh that. But one of our customers, they recently did this for an ISO certification. I just shared this story with 3 people on the table. Whenever you're going for an ISO certification, usually auditors will send you tons and tons of documents, which somebody in your team must go through, figure out how they are compliant, how much they are not compliant, what are the missing pieces. We done the same set of policies over here, then we started using AI. Give me the best practices for, let's say, classifying emails. What should be the best practices which employees should use when they are, let's say, sending data outside the company, right? How should I classify the data which is here in my SAP? Those are my questions which I want to be answered based on the compliance policies from the ISO. This was a live use case from a manufacturing customer. I shared that name with you folks on the table. These are very valid use cases. Like I was saying that there's one customer who has put up all their HR policies on this. So anybody who now needs to say, okay, I'm traveling to, let's say, Missouri, what is my budget, right? Or how much can I spend on a hotel? Today, if anybody is raising a ticket for an HR or going to a chatbot, they don't need to go there. You can ask this question in natural voice language as well. I quickly change gears from there. There are certain personal consumer use cases as well. Like, there's one of my friends, he and his wife, they upload all the invoices of all the purchases that they do on Amazon, Nykaa, Myntra, anywhere. on Google App, which means that whenever they have to figure out, okay, when is the warranty of my TV expiring? It's right there. Where did I purchase my refrigerator format? What price? From which brand? It's right there. That those are personal use cases. One of my customers uploaded the entire manual of their car which they purchased. So if they see a red light now, they know they can simply go in there and ask a question. These are personal use cases as well. Some of my customers even uploaded training material for the NEET examination for their kids. So if they have to figure out, okay, NEET, what is the most common question which class in last 5 years? It's right there. So think about personal use cases as well as enterprise use cases. Okay, switching here one more time. We all keep on working on a lot of documents, right? Some of these documents are pretty long, pretty lengthy, right? So I created this live demo for one of my customers, which is Excel software. They use this for evaluating RFPs. Any RFP that they're working on today, whenever they receive an RFP, usually it goes through multiple hands. There is somebody who's going to filter out, okay, when is the RFP supposed to be submitted? What are the major components of this RFP? What are the deadlines for questions, everything? And then they will hand it over to the next person who will go into a deep dive on that RFP, will figure out, okay, this is my section, this is somebody else's section, right? There will be a legal, from a legal perspective, there will be a compliance side. Everybody will be involved. One RFP will take 3 to 4 weeks before a final submission happens. And usually when you're working on these kind of things, you will be referring to some internal documents that, okay, customer is asking for this, do I have capability to deliver this upon? Right? Customer is saying, okay, this product, Bonus Citizen Unica, I have few requirements which are mentioned in my RFP, but is there a document currently wherein I can go and refer that, okay, whether these capabilities actually exist or not? Are they the list for me? So we created what we call as a gem. Gem is nothing but my assistant. So I created this RFP risk analysis assistant. All it does is it has several instructions and it also has the knowledge base of these two documents, right? If today my manager says, okay, this is the RFP which I have received, do a thorough risk analysis. I simply going to give it a command and I have already prepared that. By the way, here's the RFP response that it created from a risk compliance perspective, not an RFP response. Think about it, this is somebody who might be doing this manually. It doesn't only give you the project timelines, but even each and every line item, whether we can meet this, what is the risk for HCL, and think about it. If I have to do this manually, I would usually take at least 1 day's time for only my section. There could be 10 other people who have to look at their own sections. Takes 3 to 4 hours each person's time. And this got done in a few minutes, not seconds, but few minutes. We got tested to review everything, correlate multiple documents, then prepare something like this. This is a live use case. I have another customer who does this for legal agreements and an HR recruitment firm who does this for all the HR resumes that they receive or the offer letter which are released. Those are live use cases from every customer. I'll switch here one more time. So let's talk about something else. A lot of times, some of the customers, they use Google Forms for collecting feedback. Right? This should be consumer who are giving feedback. This should be internal folks who are giving feedback. Usually what happens is when somebody submits a feedback, there is a guy whose job is to read all the responses which have come up and then take an action. As an example, mental health awareness surveys which keep on happening every now and then. Your employees will submit the feedback, but somebody will go through that feedback line by line and will figure out, okay, which employee needs and or which employee is doing perfectly fine. So this is one such case where we create a dummy outlet customer experience wherein there is one customer who has reported an incident that has happened, right? When this person was there at that outlet. Now what has happened is, let's say I go and I'll submit this one. In the background, there is a workflow that is happening. And the workflow is whenever a form response comes in, summarize that for me. Post that message in the chat space because that's where, let's say, my HR will look at it or my feedback team will look at it. Ask Gemini what is wrong in this. And then I send a customer an email. So there are instructions in all of this. This is the right response which got created. So if I go in here, let me just gonna find emails, some more ID. Yep, I just pick. This is an email. Now we did this live with trials. They receive these customer feedbacks every now and then. Whenever something is not working, customer would go to YouTube, customer would go to Facebook page, customer would send an email. There will be somebody who has to read that feedback. Now, AI read that feedback, summarize that feedback, and followed my instruction to even reply back to that customer, offering them discounts. That okay, we will refund all the money, we'll offer you more discount, and we will also do an investigation, also raise a ticket as well. All of this done by AI. How I use this now? This is my chatbot. I call it Jaspreet's EA. Right? So it's my assistant. Every morning, it tells me these are the emails with the urgent action items. Right? These are the announcements which have happened internally. Anything that is related to some other product which I may not be working on, but it is relevant for me. Any events which are coming up. Any customer success stories which have been recently launched. And a lot of other things. So all of this is coming out from similar kind of workflows, right? So I write my own workflow. I tell that, okay, every morning when I wake up, give me a list of all the companies which have been recently attacked, so that I know, okay, what would go wrong when I'm talking to my customer, or I can use that as a reference point. Whenever I wake up, give me a list of all the chat messages which need my attention, or all the files which are pending for my approval, or go to my project, figure out what has happened in the last 24 hours, send me a summary in the morning on my chat message. These are line mistakes that I install using just the regular tools. There are no fancy tools. These are just email, chat, drive files, nothing else. Okay, last thing. Whenever you're working on internal forms, so this customer came to us. They said that we are about to launch a new factory plant. And whenever you're about to launch a new factory plant, there is obviously a press release and there are internal communications as well, right? Usually, there will be a document prepared by somebody, which will then be reviewed by multiple people, right? And this document will be shared as, let's say, an email with all the employees, right? Now, when you do that, typically you expect that employees are reading the entire email, which doesn't happen. Trust me, when I don't read all the emails now. Your employees will simply see this email in the subject and then skip it, right? Can we create different ways of communicating the same information? There's an application called as Google Vids, which can allow me to create a, let's say, 2-minute video to inform the employees about the same announcement. So all I have to do is just give that prompt, ask it to, let's say, select the outline or suggest me what is the best outline for this, right? So it will read that document. We'll find out. I can obviously edit, add, delete, all of those things. In the rest of time, I'll let's say select one of the design and I'll say, okay, create a draft video. I have already created this video because I wanted to save time. Here's a video which got created from that same document, right? It's about 2 hours.
Welcome to an exciting announcement from Simple Manufacturing. We're thrilled to share news about a major step in our growth journey. We are proud to announce the establishment of a brand new state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. This cutting-edge facility is located in Surat, Gujarat.
Take a pause here. Now, this is of course 2 minutes long. We don't want to take 2 minutes long video. It used the same document because it's a sample document, right? The female face that we saw is an AI avatar with full lip syncing. It is right now using a US accent, but you can actually ask it to use an Indian accent or even Hindi for that matter. A same video can have multiple avatars, multiple different languages, multiple different dialects, all in just one video. That got created by using the same reference document, nothing else. No designer for hired for this, right? And then there's the last step, which is usually done by a lot of marketing folks. We do this Nano Banana for image creation. This is my personal experiment on this. I want to share this experiment with you. Any image generation model will accept prompts and will generate an image, right? Look at this image. I simply give a prompt, okay, Indian male doctor with 2 junior doctors. It did that. Now let's look at, let's say, the female on the right hand side. It's a half face, right? The person on the left hand side also has a half face. Typically, AI models will not be able to generate the same face again most of the times. I get a response. Okay, then create a headshot from the woman on the right. It created the remaining face. Created a very professional looking headshot. Then I said, okay, go back to the previous image. use the same person, now create an image in which the woman is wearing a bright summer dress in Santorini. The same woman in the same body structure. The entire image got created. While in the original image, it was just half bodies. Now it's a full body. Then I thought, okay, let's use VO3. So we use this and created this for one of our e-commerce customer. This is a 7th video which we created. This was just to show an experiment to them that this person doesn't exist. This location was never in real, right? So nobody flew there, everything in China, camera flew and everything. This dress never existed, and they used this exact model on one of their dresses on e-commerce. Imagine this. It is a use case which is relevant for every industry. Every industry needs something or the other wherein they are dependent on third-party agencies to do. I'll wrap up my talk right now. We wasted a couple of minutes when we had the issues. But any questions, feel free. I'll read them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I hope we fix this tomorrow so that you can eligible to be good. Any, we got an applause from all of you.